Breeding season is kicking my butt, okay? And we thought we had Miss Phoebe here all settled, all good. When we went to do her heartbeat check though, it showed that she had absorbed her pregnancy. Now, I would have preferred she just not be pregnant that first time, because then that set us back an extra 2 weeks of time, right? Because we thought she was pregnant, we thought she'd have that heartbeat check, and so now we are checking her again to see if she's back into heat. If she is back into heat, we will culture her and then set her up to try again with a frozen embryo. I will say, this year, it has been harder this breeding season. I'm not sure all the factors. We flush our mares, we keep them clean as best as we can. We culture them constantly to make sure they don't have any bacteria. We did use a lot more frozen semen and a lot more frozen embryos this year. So you're not just putting fresh semen into a mare to carry for herself. That's the easiest, most effective way. We are definitely doing it the harder way, but it's all a learning curve. It's all a learning experience. So Phoebe has only been bred once. She was carrying a VS the First Lady machine-made embryo, which would have been a full sibling to Kirby. And so depending on what embryo we put into Ethel, we'll figure out what we're putting into Phoebe. So when it comes to slipping an embryo after that implantation mark, so we say that they implant at day 17. We do their preg check usually around 14 to 16 days, just in case of twins. And then we do the heartbeat check usually between 29 and 40 days. So some reasons that she might have slipped that embryo. Could have been a subtle infection, but again, we cultured her. She wasn't really retaining fluid. There wasn't a whole lot that showed why she would have aborted that baby. It could be that there was something genetically wrong with that embryo, and it wasn't going to be compatible with life, and so it was lost early. It could also be that there was a problem with the implantation process. There's a lot of reasons there past her having an infection. So she's got a couple of follicles. Now, when you're doing an embryo, like a frozen embryo, really that should just give her, if she double ovulates, more progesterone. So hopefully that would help her hold that pregnancy better. So just to be safe, we're going to go ahead and lavage her, make sure her uterus is nice and clean. Give her hysterelin probably tomorrow so that she will ovulate by Thursday. And then 4 days after that, which would be Sunday, we'll put that frozen embryo in. Now I have to decide, because by then, hopefully we have a few more Kennedy embryos. Hopefully by then we have another Erline embryo. We just did ICSI, so I'm waiting to hear which ones turn into actual embryos. So we'll have different options, hopefully by then. Like I said, ain't nobody pregnant. So some of the mares, we are doing one last try. And Ginger, Ginger has been bred with fresh semen, but it's to a stud she's never been bred to before. Sometimes, studs and mares just don't mix, regardless, there's nothing wrong. And her culture was clean, all that. She's actually holding her weight super good. So we're going to try one more time. And if it doesn't take, then we're not going to continue. You are such a naughty boy. There's a reason we can't leave you in your stall, because you tried to escape it when your mom's not there. I talked to your new family this week, and actually because you and Mr. Huckleberry are going to the same trainer, you're actually going to go live as yearlings together. It'll be so fun. And then last but not least, we're checking your mama, Miss Millie. So Happy, we were checking due to the fact that originally I'd said, oh, I'll have all my mares bred by then. She'll be too late. I'll just let her be an early mare the next year. Well, she might be one of my only saving graces. So we are going to potentially breed her to Denver, aka First Things First. For her own baby. That should make y'all happy. You big fancy girl. She's gigantic. Huge. She's so mad she can't nurse right now. So Miss Happy is going to get a luteal shot today. So hopefully we will be breeding her in 5 to 7 days. But we are breeding her to First Things First. So it will be frozen semen at the clinic. So it doesn't matter, trying to time her up with ordering semen. So recap, we will be checking Phoebe for ovulation on Friday, so that hopefully we are putting an embryo into her on probably Monday, and it will most likely be a Kennedy embryo. And then with Ginger and Happy, neither one of them really have big substantial follicles. So hopefully after we check them again here soon, we can plan on when we're breeding them. But yeah, let's just say a prayer and cross our fingers, okay? Because it's almost May. We're 2 days away from May, and I have 4 mares. That's a third of what I had hoped. bred. Let's watch some foals play in the pasture. First up is Miss Ruby. Her mama Ethel's already leaving her. We are going to do a part 1 and part 2 since we have so many stinking cute babies. You know, I was really hoping for some romping, but they're just pretty chill grazing. So next up is Annie and Huckleberry. Your Ruby shirt doesn't even look like Ruby anymore. She's a totally different animal. Look at your 3 different colors just glistening in the sun, Miss Ruby. All right, these mamas are on the move. I did just notice the gates closed because they were fertilizing that back pasture. So we'll go open that in a second. Next, okay, we got a little pizzazz from this one, Mr. Dallas. They are coming out for a full day today. He's been going out for half days. Look at that little lope. Dallas, you handsome man in the flowers. Yes, you. Next, we have Miss Gracie and Mr. Knox. He's literally going to be taller than his mother at weaning. He's gigantic. I don't know what it is about the last 2 babies of the year, but they are huge. Just absolute units. Dallas, did you see a friend? Is Knox out here? They all keep attempting to be friends, and then they get scared, and then they go back to mommies. Phoebe also is looking so shiny, so gorgeous. Oh, he was literally staring a hole in Dallas and then turned back to his mama once he was like, okay, let's be friends. Just commit already. Gracie's like, what is this tragedy? Why am I shut out of my grassland? Dallas, go make friends. Look at him. He just wants to be friends with you. You're actually brothers. You got the same daddy. Gracie! That was not very nice. Look at, what? The 2 short little fat mares have the sons that want to be friends, and then they're making it difficult. That's not cool. Look at them. Gracie, are you the one shooing Phoebe away? That's interesting. Some dynamics. See, Ethel and Annie have been buds for a really long time. I actually posted an old video of them from like 6 years ago on my Snapchat a couple days ago where they are literally besties. So they're just chilling together with their kids. And next up is Ginger and Ted. Now they always have to go to the water beforehand. Never fails. They always got to go get a nice little drink. Oh, he found his little kitty friend. Is that Hilda, buddy? Is she your friend? Is she your little protector? Oh, mom left. Catch up. In the slowest way possible. Look at that tiny little lope. Now we're just waiting on Noelle and Kirby. Now we are going to put Millie out today as well this morning. So we're going to make a separate video about her. Once the girls get out here and they're settled, we'll open up the gate to go to the big pasture, and that will be part 2. Oh, so Dallas and Knox are gallivanting over here, and look who wants to be a part of it so bad. Huckleberry is staring at them. All right, next to last is Kennedy and Kirby, our second oldest of all the foals. I will say it does look like we have little cliques forming with Knox and Dallas over here, and then Kirby and Noelle will for sure be besties, and they'll kind of make a clique with Ted. Ruby just kind of gallivants wherever she wants, but she does stick to Ted a lot. And then there's just poor little Huckleberry up there, and he's just really not part of a clique yet, but I think he needs to go hang out with Dallas and Knox. He has so much energy. He needs friends to play with instead of mom. Look at him doing his own little zoomies. Oh my gosh. You better be careful. Literally nobody else is doing anything. They're all just grazing with their moms, and he's going wild. Oh, someone's getting brave. Knox, go play with him. Yes, sir. Be brave. Oh no. He's a coward. He went back to mom. And last but not least is the oldest of the bunch, Miss Noelle. Hi, big girl. You're literally a grown woman. Yeah, her besties, Ted and Kirby, are like, where you been? Where you been at? So these little boys, I feel like, are playing because their moms are hanging out together. We really need them to give Huckleberry the time of day, because I think this crowd is where he belongs. The little mischievous boys, you know? So there's lots of cliques. There's the older, almost like full grown looking babies, and then there's still the teeny tiny babies, and they're all kind of clicking off together. So we're gonna open these gates. We're gonna let them into the big pasture. Stay tuned for part 2.